Hey ladies and gents, in this tutorial I want to show you guys how to do parallel compression on a kick drum. So the first thing that I want to do is to send this kick drum to an FX channel. I'm going to use a 1176 emulation. I'm going to make this channel, this parallel track mono, since the kick drum is already mono. And then I'm going to call it, let's see, parallel kick. And that's it. And then I want to use a high ratio, fast attack, fast release. And then let's give it a listen. Oh, one other thing before we get started, I have to mention that I'm using an effects track so that I can be able to listen to the parallel track without listening to everything else. And this also helps me avoid any phase issues because this is more like doubling the track. To avoid any phase issues, make sure that you use an effects track and not a group track or a bus channel. So maybe in software such as Pro Tools, you would use an aux channel, I think. So just make sure that you read the manual for the DAW that you're currently using to make sure that you don't create any phase issues. So let's get started then. So what I'm going for here is a really aggressive sound. As you can see, I'm using a really high gain reduction. And then next up, what I want to do is to add an EQ to bring up some of that low end. So I'm going to use a low shelf. That should be enough. And then next up, all I need to do now is to blend the parallel with the dry signal. So let's check that out. Oh, I forgot to unmute the parallel track. And then what I want to listen to is just the kick drum. So I'm going to mute everything else. So what I want to do now is to add some bite to the kick by increasing the high end. Let's check that out. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is just to add a minor saturation, just to add some personality to the parallel track. Not so much that it becomes more obvious, just a little bit, just to add some character and warmth to the parallel track. So now let's blend the two together. So something like this should be more than enough for the mix. Right now I'm just exaggerating it so that you guys can be able to hear what's going on. So as you can hear, the kick has more attitude, and this parallel track will help the kick cut through the mix. So that's how you do parallel compression. And of course, if you have any questions, leave your comment below, and I'm always here to help, guys. So feel free to reach out and I'll definitely get back to you. It's really that easy. You don't have to complicate it. Just make sure that you use an effects channel instead of a group channel or a bus channel, because with a bus or a group channel, you might end up with a lot of phase issues. Make sure that you use an effects channel. And that's it for now. See you guys in the next tutorial. Cheers.